Hello, I'm Eric Meeks, broker-owner of Remax Desert Properties in Palm Springs and Indian Wells, along with my wife Tracy. And today I want to share with you a historical story about the Palm Springs area. This is the legend of Willie Boy. And there's been numerous books written about Willie Boy, even a movie starring Robert Redford that was done in the late 1970s, early 1980s. And Willie Boy was one of the Indians out here, part of the Chimihueve tribe, I hope I'm pronouncing that correct, which basically was out of the Twentynine Palms area. And Willie Boy, well, like many local Indian boys early 1900s, in 1909, Willie Boy was 19 years old. And he fell in love with a young Indian maiden named Carlotta. And her father, who was known as Old Mike in the area, didn't like Willie Boy one bit, right? Story of a lot of teenagers who fall in love with their first girlfriend, where the dad doesn't like you. Well, Willie Boy persisted, and Old Mike never relented. And finally, a thing happened here. And by the way, Carlotta was only 16, Willie Boy 19. Those ages are pretty normal. Well, Carlotta's family, Old Mike, packs them up, and they're going to go to Banning and be a part of some sort of apple picking or orchard picking, something that's going on. It's harvest time, okay? It's like September at this time of year, and they're going there because they're day workers and they need to earn money, right? So while she's there, and this is where the story diverts a little bit. If you do some Google searching for Willie Boy, you're going to find several different articles about it. The way that I heard it had a bit of Indian magic in it. Carlotta, while she liked Willie Boy, did not love him. And that's part of the reason that Old Mike did not relent. And even though Willie Boy put on his best airs, Old Mike never gave in. So Willie Boy went to go see an old medicine woman, right? And he has her make a love potion. And he goes and finds Carlotta in the Banning area. They're working at a place called Gilman Ranch, which is a pretty famous ranch, okay, in the Banning area. And he wants to get Carlotta to drink the love potion and put it in some apple juice or something so that she'll drink it. And Carlotta doesn't, and Willie Boy ends up drinking it somehow himself, and Carlotta doesn't, and now he is totally enraged in love with her and has to have her, and he ends up kidnapping Carlotta and taking with her and going towards kind of the Morongo Valley and Joshua Tree, right? Because he's from Twentynine Palms, so he's kind of heading that direction with her. But Willie Boy, in Indian parlance, is known as a windwalker, okay, which is somebody who can move very fast over the ground, much like the wind over the desert sand. He's able to move like that. He leaves virtually no trace of his having been walked in the sand. He is an amazing windwalker for a young man who's maintained onto that part of his Indian heritage. Furthermore, it's 1909, remember. William Howard Taft, President of the United States, coincidentally has pulled into a train in San Bernardino. Okay, and because of that, even in those days, he's got a whole bunch of newspaper guys that are with him, telegraph operating guys, news people that are hounding around the president, his entourage in those days. And word gets out that there's a renegade Indian that's kidnapped a woman. Oh, and I forgot to mention, he kills Old Mike and has taken off across the desert, right? 1909, cowboy days are recent history, and we've got a renegade Indian. The Wild West is alive again in Southern California in regards to all these newspapermen. They immediately start sending stories off to all their papers and wire sources and everything else, and they're all told to go figure out what's going on here. So a posse is created. Sheriffs and lawmen from around the region band together, and they're in pursuit of Willie Boy, who's got a good day or two head start, and he's a windwalker. So he's heading to what's called Ruby Mountain, which, forgive me, I don't know exactly where this is. You'll have to Google it, but I'll tell you it's somewhere past Twentynine Palms. Okay, and he makes it to about there, and he's got Carlotta with him, and she's fighting him. Realize Willie Boy is in love, madly in love with Carlotta, and Carlotta is not returning the love. And in the frustration and under the pursuit of the posse, Willie Boy kills Carlotta. And he ends up in a firefight with the posse, and he shoots out 2 or 3 horses and one of the lawmen, and ends up escaping, I don't know, after dark or something like that, away from them. They find Carlotta's body. That hits the news. The posse's on him again. And eventually, Willie Boy is madly deranged and commits suicide by putting the gun up under his chin and killing himself. And that's the legend of Willie Boy. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything here in my notes, but that's it. It's kind of a last gasp of the Old West out here in the desert. And the story's probably been expanded upon and plagiarized. My part about the Indian medicine woman, who knows if it's true or not. I hear these stories and I pass them on to you now. And let the legend of Willie Boy live in your hearts and minds for another generation. Thank you very much for listening. My name is Eric Meeks. I really appreciate your time. If there's ever anything that I can do for you as either an agent trying to get better or a local person, a client who wants to buy or sell a home, I would gladly lend a hand. Thank you very much. I'm Eric Meeks. Have a good day. Thank you for watching The Realtor Guy on YouTube. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more, please like and subscribe to this channel. We release new videos just about every week with helpful tips for real estate agents in the Palm Springs area and around the world. Thanks again for watching. I'm Eric Meeks, the Realtor Guy, signing off.